Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. We've got a clickbait controversy happening with Krystal from Bachelor in Paradise. She's kind of like a health and wellness guru on Instagram and YouTube, and appears the audience of the Bachelor Nation and her audience on YouTube not too happy with a possible clickbait regarding miscarriage. That's what the conversation is going to be around. So we're going to share what audiences said and her response. She did respond very quickly after realizing she kind of stepped in it. Although I don't believe she apologized, which is up to her audience to decide if this is a good enough response. I could really care less. But let's get into it. Follow me on Instagram at dneals, patreon.com/Dave Neal for behind the scenes bonus content. This morning's live stream will discuss the Clayton paternity saga, as he's supposed to go to court today to possibly win or lose an order of protection. It's going to be a big deal. I don't know if we'll have the results by the time we go live, but we will be discussing that on the behind the scenes podcast and also every afternoon Bachelor Rush Hour. Okay, so was it clickbait or not? I'm going to read what she said. Now, clickbait, if you look at my thumbnail here, you have to have your thumbnails rooted in some form of truth. You have to, because I've been accused of clickbait before, and I go, well, I mean, not really. I'm sensational, maybe, but clickbait is usually something that is kind of a lie or deceiving. So here she is responding, and then that's her response. So I passed the not clickbait test. Let's get into what she said on Instagram, and is this clickbait? This week, I was supposed to announce my pregnancy. She spelled supposed wrong, but God had other plans for me. While my heart was breaking, I felt an overwhelming comfort that this was a gift, even though I couldn't yet see it. Trusting can be a hard thing to do, but I now understand. My body has fully caught my attention that she is ready to heal and needs to witness her pain to make space for a beautiful new life to enter. So here we are. I'll be documenting this journey on my YouTube channel, and the first video just dropped. Comment, watch, and I'll send you a DM with a link. Thank you for being here. Let the healing begin. Fertility journey. So the key is the first sentence. This week I was supposed to announce my pregnancy. So the clickbait that I think people are pissed off over is that this implies that she was pregnant in the first place and then had a miscarriage. Comments say, to be clear, there is no loss, correct? Am I missing something? There wasn't a loss at all. The caption of this post is so misleading and kind of manipulative. I'm confused now too. Did her fertility journey go wrong? Trying to understand, and I'm not trying to assume here. She was trying to get pregnant on her honeymoon, but found out her hormones were off. So someone had commented, honey, you don't have a fertility problem. You just had sex. She was trying to get pregnant on her honeymoon, but found out her hormones were off balance. So now she's changing her eating habits to fix them. She never got pregnant or had a loss. I'm not assuming. I watched her video and she literally explains it all. And it is honestly really gross how she's making so many people think she had a miscarriage just to get them to watch a video. So anyway, the comments go on and on. People all pretty much felt the same. And then someone said, I never thought someone would stoop so low for clicks. I'm unfollowing. That's gross, unethical behavior. And in 2 months, we're going to get a story about how eating differently balanced her hormones and caused her infertility. Okay, so clearly folks are really upset about this, which isn't rare. It's the internet, but it's also a very tight needle to thread when it comes to discussing, things that people can struggle with, something so near and dear as getting pregnant, infertility issues, and all of that. So she got absolutely roasted in her DMs. Obviously, this was a major story online. It received hundreds of comments. Here's her response. To those who have experienced loss or are struggling to conceive, I'm sending you my thoughts and prayers through this time. Yesterday, I posted a vulnerable video regarding my deep sadness in not being able to get pregnant and directing people to watch a detailed YouTube video explaining my fertility journey. I did not mean to insinuate that I had suffered a miscarriage, but after hearing feedback, I understand how for some it came across that way. If this was you, I am deeply sorry for any pain this may have caused. Okay, so she does apologize. I was wrong. I didn't know if she apologized to Neal. She did the whole, if I hurt you, I'm sorry. And by the way, if you do that in a relationship, that's not a good apology. Honey, if I annoyed you while I was cheering for my Patriots when they won and you were trying to sleep, I'm sorry. If you feel like, that's the video. As I continue to share my journey, I would never want to diminish or disregard anyone's feelings and experiences. Thank you to those who have reached out with their story and support. I can't comprehend the level of loss that my heart goes out to you. I know that fertility is a highly sensitive topic. My husband and I are truly grateful that we were able to get pregnant with Andara. While we are struggling to conceive a second child, my intention in sharing my journey is to help other women not feel alone and to share the things I'm learning in hopes that it might help others overcome their own fertility challenges. Thank you for your support and feedback because it helps me grow and be aware of the experiences others have had. So yeah, at the very least, it's like, look, she's saying, I didn't realize this was clickbait, and people can say, well, how could you not? And you know what? That's really, when I read this, and again, I'm not exactly the target audience. So when I read this, I was like, yeah, I get the hustle. You know what I mean? I get the hustle. So but I'm also not going to blame people if they're really upset and feel like this is a huge violation. I just know, look, would it have been a little easier for Krystal to just respond to my DMs and come on Driving with Dave? Look, chances are she never saw them, but there's other ways to grow your YouTube channel. You could have done Driving with Dave, is my point. But either way, we're not here to smash her by any means. But for some in the comment sections, they go, yeah, look, it's not someone said, who has a week plan to announce a pregnancy that hasn't even occurred? So in other words, you had sex. And then of course someone said, you took the vaccine, didn't you? Just rubbish. The unmitigated gall it takes to make a vague Instagram reel hinting at a pregnancy loss only to have a bait and switch on YouTube. The kids are right. You need to put your phone down and touch grass. It is a dog eat dog world out there, folks. Well, anyway, here's what she had to say. Might as well promote her YouTube channel here. 19,000 views. So it kind of worked, because first of all, look, here's what I'll tell you about YouTube. She's got close to 1 million Instagram followers, right? That does not translate to YouTube whatsoever. I know people with millions of Instagram followers that cannot get a view on YouTube. Instagram doesn't pay in the app the way that YouTube does. So if she's able to make YouTube a thing like some content creators have, she would be far better off. So I understand the struggle. And other than the clickbait, it was a very well-written thing. This is what you do. You put people on a journey. You make them watch your post on your Instagram longer, then it helps the algorithm. Look, it's one of those don't hate the players, hate the games thing. But of course, it's for sure a flag on the play if we're going to use a game analogy. All right, here's what she had to say. Good quality audio, good quality video, bad caption.
This week I thought I would be announcing my pregnancy, my birthday week. That was the plan. And I guess that just wasn't the plan for us. So let me first tell you about the plan. So when we got engaged, me and Miles, my now husband, we'd already been talking about trying for another baby because we had at the time our 18-month-old daughter, and we're like, how much longer do we want to wait? How far apart do we want them to be? Definitely at least over 2 years. That was kind of the question. And we decided over the next 4 months, we're like, do we try for a baby? Or do we plan our wedding? I was kind of leaning towards trying for a baby. Just turned 35.
By the way, she does a lot of what's called jump cuts, which is just kind of cutting to make the pace go smoother. You will never catch me doing a bunch of jump cuts on my video. Is that because I'm lazy? Partially, but I also feel like, if I flub a line, it's an authentic way of talking. But I also understand that some people say a lot of ums and buts and they get criticized for it. So it's heavily edited, but it looks very good quality.
And I just don't want to wait too much longer because I know egg quality, egg count, all these things we need to consider, which still blows my mind because at 35, I still feel so young. Earlier into the year, kind of had a pregnancy scare and then realized, let's plan the wedding and let's do a honeymoon baby. Leading up to the wedding, it worked out miraculously that I was going to be ovulating on our honeymoon. I pulled out my maternity clothes. I was just nesting and preparing for a baby to come.
Now that sounds kind of crazy. She pulls out her maternity clothes because she was about to ovulate. And people have said, well, in health class, they teach you, even when you're ovulating, you only have a 20 to 35% chance of getting pregnant anyways. That's if everything goes right. But either way, imagine if she did, she pulled out, I just can't get over the fact she said she pulled out her maternity clothes. And then what? You'd have to let them sit and wait 3 months? I don't know. I've been covering a lot of maternities recently, or at least alleged maternities with the different paternity scandals going on. And, I don't think, ladies, am I wrong here? By the way, would you need maternity for what? Not at least 3 months, dare I say 4 or 5, right?
come into our life. And leading up to the wedding, my cycle has really been off. And I want to bring it all the way back to October 2022 when I was competing in a bikini competition. I was in a major calorie cut. I lost like 8 pounds really quickly. I was lean, I was looking good.
Fantastic.
I felt absolutely terrible. And then like a month later, I noticed like I had a couple gray hairs coming in and I was like, what the heck? And in November up until now, my cycle started changing. My periods got longer, they got shorter, they got heavier, they got lighter. And then I started developing these like crazy migraines over the summer. You know, like where it feels like it's like in your eyeball.
All right, so she goes on and on. And look, hey, for some people, they're going to really enjoy having someone be so open with this content. I don't knock it whatsoever. The whole journey around, I mean, this is just something you learn as you get older, because they don't, to be honest, and this could be the quack health classes that I went to, state school, public schools, you know, but I never remember learning about women's fertility. Or it's like, you know, and we should all learn about it. I mean, what's important, you know, it's important for normalization of conversations around these types of things, right? But of course, that comes with some, you know, responsibility to have that conversation in a way that's respectful to those that do have fertility problems. So when you talk about fertility problems, some people had commented, Dave, fertility problems exist when it's taken over a year to not get pregnant, not when it didn't happen on your first try. So infertility is a medical term used when someone has tried for a year or more to get pregnant without success. It is why some insurance policies will not cover fertility treatments until you try naturally for a year, because you can not be diagnosed with infertility under a year. It can take up to a year for people. Okay, so that's how it works. And again, I don't think she's really teasing the fact that she's infertile. I think, you know, it's just that's, you know, you have these conversations on YouTube, you put your hashtags in, and she's got, at least on the other page, she had like what is it called, fertility journey. What the hell did she use as her hashtag? Either way, it doesn't matter. So she issues her apology, and that's probably that. Let me know what you guys think. Again, I don't blame people for feeling the way that they feel. To me, it's one of those things. I don't know. And again, it might be the privilege of being a man that it doesn't piss me off, but I respect those that it does. I'm just not going to lie. I'm so mad at Krystal, boycott her. No, learn your lesson, grow, move on, right? How about more of that? Okay, we'll be back with more content right after this.